Welcome to the Guitar Channel. I am super happy to welcome you a new interview. I have on the other side of the Zoom connection an incredible guitar builder I'm going to show you in a second. But first, we need to check the website. So the website is ocekguitars.com. You can also find some information on Facebook. And let's switch right away to Zoom. Cem, how are you doing today?
Hi, Pierre. Thank you very much. I'm doing perfect. And thanks for this opportunity to talk to me about me and my guitars.
It's always a pleasure to welcome a guitar builder. So first you have to tell me, where are you from and where are you based at the moment, Cem?
Yeah, I was born in Izmir, Turkey. So I'm from Turkey. I'm a Turkish citizen.
Okay.
But I live in Munich. I think I moved here in 2018. So for the last 4 years, I moved together with my family to Munich because of my job, my professional job, basically.
Okay. And so does that mean that you are not working full-time on building guitars, or are you?
Correct. Yes, correct. I mean, let me give you a little bit background about myself. I mean, I graduated from a computer engineering department in Turkey. Many years ago, and since then I've been working in the several multinational companies as IT manager or management positions of these IT companies in the past. But of course, when I started with my professional career, I think 30 years ago, I also at the same time started or experimenting, making some guitars as well at the same time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you do play the guitar yourself then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, since the university, I played mainly classical guitar, nylon string, and also all sort of course, other guitars as well. So it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who would you say are your main influences in the guitar building world?
Yeah, nice question. I think I must say right away, the people like Ulrich Teufel,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Michael Spaltz, and Pagellis for sure. I think they are the main inspirational guitar builders for me. At least for the last decade, it was definitely the case. And as you can imagine, there is a big bump of, or explosion of the guitar makers everywhere. But I admire them because, they are not, they are really innovative. They are doing really different stuff. They are experimenting as well. So at least for me, they have been really, really inspirational for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how did you become a guitar builder? How did you follow a specific training, or did you go to other builders to learn your craft?
Yeah.
What's your journey?
Well, actually, again, when I started building my first guitar as an experiment, because I think I'm talking about 1989, exactly, I remember. And there was nothing like, real good electric guitars in Turkey, at least.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I was really trying to put some pieces together from really nasty, let's say, acoustic guitars. So I was just using a neck of a very old classical guitar, acoustic guitar, putting into a body that I was making. Okay. And then, I was waiting for ages to find some, pickups to just test it and so on. So it all started like that, actually. But also, I must say that I think, again, in the beginning of 90s, somehow I could manage to buy a book called, How to Make Your Own Guitar by Melvin Hiscock. I think he's very famous and one of the few guys who wrote this book, in those early days. So I learned a lot theoretically, from this book. And also then I did whatever I can at that time to find some other good books on the market as well. So of course, everything was in English. So I was trying to buy the books from the UK and so on. But in the end, I experimented a lot during these days. And also, I must say, after experimenting and after reading all these books, theoretically, of course, I started writing two books actually in Turkey at that time. So the first book was about how to make your own guitar. Well, basically, it is maybe you can say that it's a Turkish version of this, Melvin Hiscock book. And also, I was really concentrated on how to choose or select a good guitar versus the normal guitar. So I was a little bit surprised because when I published the first book in 1996, the publisher company in Turkey just told me that if you can sell maybe 500 of them, then you will be lucky.
Okay.
But it seems that the situation was totally different because the people in Turkey at that time, they were really looking for information. They were really hungry for that. So this book sold really nice. And then 2 years later, I published another book. This time based on how the amplifier of guitars and electric guitars are working, and also what do the effects do. So I somehow connected my information coming from the computer engineering into the electronics. So I put another second book as well. So far, I sold thousands of copies of these, two guitars, and that's how the people in Turkey who are really interested in electric guitars and so on, they know me basically because of these books. But then, I started really experimenting all the theoretical information that I know from these books and from my findings, let's say. And also in the meantime, I started writing some articles to local Turkish, let's say, music technology magazine called Sound for many years. So I shared all of my information about different things like new music technologies, unusual instruments, musical instruments, sound art and the sculptures and so on. I did exactly the same starting from, I think it was 2013, to Sustain Luthier magazine in Berlin, in Germany, which is managed by Leo Spennotto. Maybe you know him as well. So,
I remember.
Yeah. So it all started like this, and then I became the support member of EGB. Since I think since 2014, I am the member of the group. Also, even in 2016, I gave some lectures in EGB symposium. It was mainly based on. The topic was defining quality of a guitar by analyzing the physical properties, and also I did discuss some theoretical information about how guitar pickups work and how their tones are shaped by changing some parameters and so on. So it was a really good experience for me. So this is how I started. I think the other makers at my age. It is because of the necessity, because at that time, we didn't have any guitars.
Yeah. And so in a moment, you're going to show us two guitars that you built. But before you do that, can you tell us what is special about your guitars? When a customer come to you, what are they looking for?
Well, I think two elements, at least for me, is very important. One thing is that having something really different, I think this is the main key driver for me. So my personal preference is not to repeat some standard, templates like Tele and others. So I just want to create something as a kind of, art object as well. So art objects that, even if you are not interested in the guitars, the first time you see my guitars, at least this is my goal to achieve. If someone shows sees my guitars, I want him or her to really be impressed about the looking or the aesthetic of it. Mm-hmm. And also, of course, needless to say, having a unique sound, and also having a kind of innovative type of solutions to the guitars as much as I can, you know. So this is my stuff, and I think these two reasons are just attracting my customers. So I'm building also the bass guitars, but it's not really my area. I'm really concentrated on the electric guitars. And also, I must say, I need to add some more information about how I learned how to make the guitars, because I think it was 10 years ago I met with a very, nice and master luthier in Turkey who was really concentrated on the nylon string guitars. Ejder Pamukçu is the name of the guy. And he's also coming from the traditional, let's say, education. And he's also creating some traditional Turkish instruments as well. So I learned a lot from him because I was watching him and he was so generous for me to share all the information that he has. So he contributed a lot to the whole success of my, let's say, skills. Yeah.
So can you pick up one of your guitar and show us a little bit the instrument?
I hope you can see it clearly on the video. So I think you met with this guitar back in 2018 in Puto. Right?
Yeah, in Puto, where you were exhibiting. Yeah, remember well. Yeah,
exactly. So this name is, this guitar, I named it as Synapse because, in the Greek language, the synapsis is coming from synapsis, and it means that conjunction, in turn from, being together, fasten, which emphasize a union between two separate elements. So I was just making an analogy, like, it's just connecting the musician and the instrument. Because one of the key things with this is that if you look at the body, it is really embracing the human body in many ways. So maybe I can just turn it like this, okay?
Yeah.
So it is perfectly fitting the body here. And also, since, as I told you, I'm coming from the classical guitar playing stuff, I don't know how to show it, but you can play it in this normal mode like this, putting on your leg.
Yeah.
And so you can put the guitar in between your legs.
Okay, like the classical way. Yeah.
Exactly. And even if you do it like this, and I'm pretty sure that you will not see it, but you don't need to touch even the guitar, with your hand.
It's very balanced like that. Okay.
Exactly. It's very balanced, and you don't need to do anything. You just need to just touch the strings and play it. That's it. So this is the main goal. That was the main goal. And the second goal, as you see, it's a weird design. Yeah. So it's a almost empty body.
Yeah.
And it is on purpose empty like this, just to a little bit exaggerating the shape. And also, another idea is that if you look at the tension of the guitar strings, it comes, of course, it starts with the headstock and goes to the bridge, but it goes into that direction, so which is adding additional stress to the body, which resonates, which triggers the resonation. So surprisingly, if I connect this to the amplifier, I was a little bit surprised as well, because the body is just 2.2 kilos, so it's very, very thin. Yeah. And as you can see, there are curves everywhere. So,
and hold on a second. So the little rail we see on the middle is just here to support the pickup, right? There is no tension or there.
Yeah, you can just change the tone of the guitar by just moving this back and forth. And this is not my idea, in the history of electric guitar, maybe even in 70s,
Yeah.
Some makers were just using that kind of idea, but I just put everything together, and I think it was, at least I was really satisfied. And all the body is made from maple.
Okay.
Only the fingerboard is made from eye maple, bird's eye maple. Sorry.
Okay.
And the pickup is made by Helmut Lemme. So he was so kind enough to build a pickup for me for this special guitar. So overall, the sound is really thick. I was not expecting that one. So it was one of the pilot, let's say, installations or guitars that I made. And when it comes to the interest from the musicians, the first reaction is that, is it really a guitar? Does it sound something and so on? But I think a couple of musicians in the US bought this guitar. One of them is making some film or movie musics by using this guitar, actually. And there is one other small, let's say.
And so, hold on a second. So, is it a one piece of wood for the neck and the body, or is that some glued-on joint and at some point?
Actually, there are two pieces. One piece, I don't know if you can see it. One piece is covering the entire, neck through and the body, and the second one is just this one, small one.
And the fact that there is no wood between the end of the fretboard and the bridge is not a problem, because you would think that the vibration should go straight, it shouldn't go around, like it is in your body. So
I think there is no problem at all. It has a certain characteristic, and it's a thick sound, but also you can increase the high tones as well. So it's really, I think it's also very nice for the metal music as well.
Okay, interesting.
Has sharp attacks, and it has really nice attacks because the body is very light, actually.
Okay,
and the sustain is unbelievable. I was not expecting that one as well. The sustain of the guitar is also above the standards.
Interesting. And so you told a little bit about the pickup. So is that a humbucker or single coil or?
Yeah, it's a humbucker.
Humbucker, okay.
So we discussed with Helmut actually, what kind of sound that I would like to expect from this design after the prototype. So he designed something based on what we discussed, and the result is really nice. Yeah.
And so, regarding the control, there is one volume, one tone. I don't see it.
Sorry, just one.
One volume then.
One volume. That's it, because the tone is managed by this. Yeah.
Okay,
actually.
Makes sense.
And also, one of my customers asked me to put some kind of, connection to the internet as well for this guitar.
Really?
So, I mean, this is very, straightforward stuff. As you can see, there is a NFC tag that I put here.
Okay.
There is a special link for this unique guitar. So if you just connect your mobile phone to this tag, then it automatically goes to the blog site of this guitar, meaning that, the owner or the musician can put the videos, pictures, whatever that they are sharing as a memory in this specific let's say, generated website.
Okay, interesting.
It has the same tag. Yeah.
What about the price of this model?
This model starts 3,500 euro.
Okay.
This model. But depending on some, the hardware and so on, it will be a little bit higher. But this range, yeah.
Okay.
I have another version for this, which is in progress. It's not finalized yet. It will be much more, let's say, lighter. Even lighter than this one, because I'm going to use some different elements, not like only wood. So I'm experimenting everything as much as I can.
Excellent. So that was the Synapse model. Nice.
Yeah. And I think it was also played by Robin Angelini in the Sprito show.
Yeah, yeah, right. There is a demo video, yeah, on my YouTube channel. Correct, yes. And I saw that you put it also on your website. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one I would like to show today is the something like, it's really my baby.
Okay.
Because this is the recent one that is maybe the result of maybe 2 years of work, pre-study, not really handling the wood, but really making the design of this guitar. Maybe I can just start by showing some details of the guitar. As you can see, it's very thin. Again, it's just less than 3 centimeters, the body. And everything is just made by mahogany, 3 pieces of mahogany. Again, it's a McClure design. Everything is gold plated in terms of hardware. And this is I inspired when I was making this design, let's say. I was inspired by a little idol made by stone in the ancient Anatolian Hittite Empire 3,000 years ago. Because, and Hittite Empire is very important, at least for me, because I'm from Anatolia originally, and also I think Hittite Empire is very famous in terms of, let's say, more modern and more civilized, civilization at that time. Let's say, when it comes to the women rights, for instance, when it comes to the artifacts and the different, arts in different arts, they were doing really nice job, and I think they were ahead of their times in many ways. So when I saw this little idol in one of the books about Hittite Empire, I said, I need to just do something about this Hittite Empire. And then I started getting inspiration from many different things in Anatolia. One of them is, for instance, if you look at the headstock. Headstock is not it's like a stick, actually.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Turkish musical instrument called saz. It's traditional, 100 years back, it was 100 years back. So I want to resonate this kind of, design in this one. And the body actually is of course, many guitars are looking like this, but, it's a body of a woman, of course. But also I just wanted to also resonate with the queen of Hittite Empire, which is called Puduepa. And so in the end, my goal was to reflect something really giving the same atmosphere for the feeling of Hittite Empire at that time. And, if those guys were living in these times, for instance, what kind of guitar would they just bring into the life? So that was the main topic of everything, where I just built this designed this guitar. And it was during the COVID, and I had my let's say dust allergy started. So I said, for the first time, I'm going to draw everything in the 3D design program, which is called Rhinoceros, right? So I started doing this one first. I need to learn and so on. But I said, this is going good. And I also connected with this Rhinoceros company because I was not able to really draw some of the functionalities with this shape and so on. It was not so easy. And the guys helped me a lot, to be honest, and thanks to them, how to draw some certain things. And also, I was honored that they picked up this design from Turkey when they were making the, let's say, their latest version that they announced. I think it was back in November last year. So they just made a launch event, especially in Turkey, by showing my design.
Cool. Awesome. Very nice. Yeah.
So it was a really nice surprise for me. So this is the first high-tight, let's say, guitar that I made. But then I'm going to make 9 different guitars as well.
But
Exactly.
hold on a second. How did you go from the 3D design you made to that guitar? Did you go from the 3D design to CNC and then what was the build process?
Yeah, this is the CNC made guitar, actually. But I did it in a way that, only the body is shaped by using CNC machine.
Okay.
But the rest, the neck and everything is just by hand.
Okay.
So, because it was so quick to make it in this shape by using the CNC, as you can imagine. And this is also very light, 2.5 kilos.
Okay.
Again, the pickups are, 2 humbuckers made by Helmut Lemme as well. So it's a standard, setup with 1 volume and 1 tone control, 1 switch, 3 position. And basically that's it. And the sound is really thick, and it's something like, very close to, let's say, Les Paul.
Okay. And it is so full mahogany for the neck and body, right? And the neck through construction for the...
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So I can maybe show into that direction.
Yeah, nice.
Now my plan is to really build 9 other guitars, but this time by using totally different materials.
So does that mean that for this guitar, it's going to be a one-off and you're not going to sell those, or are you going to build other guitar based on that you're going to sell?
Yeah, Pierre, this is a kind of prototype made just for me, actually. So I'm going to build 9 other guitars, definitely on the same shape, but by using different materials. And my idea is maybe, I'm going to use different type of wood for sure, but also I'm going to use totally different elements like aluminum or even concrete, because concrete is kind of my dream, because even when I was young in the university, I tried to do something, especially the neck of the guitar, by using concrete. Of course, it didn't fly. Okay. It was so heavy, and also it broke. And but definitely now I have different type of materials to be as a hybrid, model to use together with concrete. So I'm definitely going to experiment this one.
Okay. What about other models? Do you build guitars for customer based on their design, or it's always based on your design?
Well, my goal is to be honest, I built a couple of bass guitars based on some requests, in the past.
Okay.
But then I switched to my design of bass guitar, and unfortunately there's no sample for that in this atelier. But my goal for the next years, first of all, I will go back to, let's say, really guitar making mode, and build only my designs, for the customers. So it's, again, as I said in the beginning, I really want to treat my designs like art objects and nothing else. So this is my design, this is my production, this is coming from my side, inside. So that's it, basically.
Okay.
This is my for the next years.
Any plan to exhibit in guitar shows in the next few months?
Yeah, I'm planning to do it in Guitar Summit.
Okay, in Mannheim, so in September. Okay.
In September. So I'm going to prepare another one for High-Tide and another one for Synapse for this show. And also I will bring one of my bass guitars in Turkey. And this is one of the problems that I have, because in Turkey I had a big atelier, but then when I moved here, I couldn't, move a lot of stuff. So I had to build everything from scratch here. But I'm, again, lucky because I have this small room for making some small adjustment on the hardware and small touches and so on. But also I have a seller downstairs to make some real hard cuts and dirty job.
Okay. Cem, it was great to be able to have you on the show. So if people want to have more information, so tell us again your website where they should go.
Yeah, I think they can check ocekguitars.com.
Okay.
OCEK guitars.com. And I'm going to renew a couple of things in the coming weeks, actually, because with this high-type guitar and synapse, I'm going to have some new pictures and so on. So I will be simplifying the website, and it will be live, I think, in May, sometime in May.
All right. Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, Cem.
Thank you very much, Pierre. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.